of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. There at the bottom of the ocean. Don't know if I'll make it back home.
Man, it's been a rough road, but am I sure glad to have walked it all with you guys. This is the last time we'll be coming to you live this season for the Midwest Esports Cup Finals because it's the grand finals. It's Grandview University, going to be taking on Illinois College. I'm Audio. This is Nightstar, maybe over here. Not quite sure which way he is, but he's here with me, and that's all that matters. We've got a banger of a best of 5 to bring you guys tonight.
Oh, do we now? Because Illinois, they've got a tall task ahead of them. We all understand the journey that has to come through tonight. And we all understand as well that GVU is the mountain to climb, and they are the big dogs in this matchup. However, Illinois, they themselves looked pretty clean in their last week's series. So, we're trying to be positive here, and that might be it.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the Midwest Esports Conference, then Grandview University is a name that you were very familiar with. Last season, they were pretty much the top dog. The only team that could ever combat them was Robert Morris. And for the longest time, these two names were the only ones that mattered. And it was always just the fight for third place. And Illinois College usually had that. They were kind of unanimously seen as the third place team. But with Robert Morris, along with a couple of other teams dropping out of the league this season, there's a hole left there. There's no longer anybody that has been able to challenge Grandview. And I think you can see that as they didn't lose a single game, not just series, a single game up until their semifinal match last week. And it has just been a cakewalk for them. If we're painting the MEC as a mountain, they took the ski lift, and everybody else had their skis stolen from them. They just had to snowshoe it up the mountain. But, you know, we are looking at Illinois College as being the one team that might be able to rise to Grandview. And like you said, they've looked really good lately. I've been a huge fan of this team since they brought in King Me. Well, I was a fan of them before, but before it was just the Prekuru show. Bringing in King Me, I think, has really fleshed out their roster, is giving them a lot more options to play through. And who knows? Maybe they'll be able to, you know, be the David taking on Goliath today, and the slingshot. What would that be? That's King Me. I don't know who he's playing, but they're throwing a rock is the point I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, for the side of Illinois, we know the task that's ahead of them, and we know that draft is going to have to play a really important part as well, and as we head into draft, it really has to be, I would say, while it's a little strange to say, I think this comes down to bot lane. It really does. Because King Me, new player on this roster, has brought that extra dimension. And I would say lately, you know, Chookies and Lobos haven't looked as unbeatable as before. They've been pretty they've gone through a little bit of a rough time here, and even I believe this week they were playing in UPL. They had a really tragic series, and that could be the way in for the side of Illinois.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at a point on Grandview to try to attack, there aren't many weak spots in that armor, at least not at the collegiate level, where they never really have been that tested. But the bot lane is one that I am looking for. However, I do want to mention that when a lot of teams play Illinois College, they approach the lanes two ways. The Grandview way and everybody else's way. And everybody else's way is, let's just pick safe lane top. Let's just completely ignore Prekuru and try to get the rest of the map as ahead as he is inevitably going to get. But Grandview, I want to just point out the champions that they played the first time these two teams matched up, which was week 1 of the Midwest Esports Conference. Platypus, who we normally see on things like the Ornn, the Shen, the Gragas, played Renekton game 1 and Lucian game 2. And you know, the kind of spicy picks ranged across the team. So this is, Grandview very much goes to that other camp of, we know Prekuru is your main win condition, we're going to try to attack him. And that's not something I see a lot of teams do, which makes me really excited for this draft. We do see the picks kind of rapid fire in here though. Hecarim, Orianna, Karma, and Volibear.
Yeah, one of the nice things as well is the fact that they did play in week number 1. So for Illinois, they got the hard matchup out of the way, and they've had so much extra time to then go ahead and develop what they want to do with this roster. So this is a matchup while we did see in week 1, there's been so much time that this is pretty much a completely new matchup.
Yeah, let's see what we have here though, because it is going to be Grandview University on the blue side, Illinois College on the red, and the Ezreal Karma that I see coming out here already says to me that I see are going to play through Prekuru. Although I agree with you, King Me has been great in the bot lane, and I think he is a player that you can carry through. More often than not, I see still draft around their top laner and just expect King Me to kind of hold his own.
Yeah, a lot of their drafts end up being a lot of weak side focused drafts with Aphelios, the Ezreal, the Xayah, very much focused on just trying to get through the lane and then being really, really powerful when it comes to those mid-game team fights. Now here, they should go ahead and then save that last pick here for top lane, as they will be able to go ahead and counter pick mid here, which, given that it is Orianna, it does leave options, although at the same time, they actually haven't played Karma support this entire season. It's actually been Karma mid, so that's something to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, I wanted to point that out, that Savara has been the main recipient of this karma, and if it's pretty well into their style, they're going to keep going for it. This really just fits the bill of Illinois College. Cold Cottage is going to be looking to roam a lot, grouping up with Savara to just make sure that Prankuru has everything that he needs. At least that's the game plan. Doesn't always work out that way, and it's also a tall task against a team like Grandview, who they're going to grab the Thresh for themselves. We'll see what their response is. The Vayne, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, it definitely is. You're going to have the tumble to try and get away from some of these blitz hooks. And in the isolated matchup, Vayne definitely just runs over Ezreal once she hits that first item, or just hits level 6, to be honest. There's just no escape for the Ezreal here. And the Pantheon pick means that this could be a Pantheon top lane. I expect it to be a Pantheon top lane.
It absolutely will be a Pantheon top lane. And I love this pick. I'll tell you exactly why. Platypus, I've been following him for a little while. He used to play for Harrisburg University. This is a pick that they loved, and especially when he was on their team, he would go to a lot. But it also, I think, works really well in this composition, because if you're going up against a top focused team like Illinois College, the Pantheon lets you just get out of lane. If you can survive that first 6 levels, you can start just perma roaming with your jungle, and who cares if the tower goes down if your team's getting multiple kills plus objectives. So I think it's a smart adaptation. The Vayne as well, going into a lane that isn't going to be getting a lot of resources. You said it, in the isolated matchup, Vayne runs away with it, and up against an Ezreal, that's a free scaling lane. Both sides, I think, getting a lot of what they wanted in this draft. It just comes down to who's going to be better at playing their style of League tonight.
Yeah, and the Pantheon pick not only allows you to leave lane, it also allows you to really be super aggressive in lane because of that ultimate, having the ability to move around the map. You can go ahead and grab something like the Ignite to just try and slam lane, especially against a Wukong. You can definitely win a lot of these early trades and then really snowball off of that. So I expect to see, for the side of GVU, throw in an early Hecarim gank for this Pantheon, get that first kill onto him, and after that, he'll just end up running wild.
Very true. I wanna hear you sound off on these junglers though, Nightstar, because on one side we've got Hecarim, who has been kind of the king of the jungle for the last couple of patches. Got his wings clipped a little bit this patch, and we see newcomer Volibear, who got some really nice buffs coming up. How do you see this jungle working out?
Yeah, Volibear, while he did get some nice sustain buffs, it doesn't necessarily make his clear any faster. It just makes it a lot more healthy, which means that he is able to go ahead and gank early on, which was kind of one of the issues, where you didn't exactly clear super fast, but you didn't have the health after clearing to then go ahead and run someone down in a lane. Now he has that ability, and I expect to see, with this Karma being able to shove out this mid lane, you're going to see a lot of Volibear Karma running around the map, sort of like an Udyr Karma, and it really just kind of replaces that tank, but he does have a little bit better of a gap close than the Udyr.
Yeah, I will say that although the clear isn't much faster, the damage buffs to his E have made his early game burst something that you really need to respect. If you get caught in that E, more specifically stunned in it, you can combo that up with pretty much anything, and you're going to have a dead squishy. So, they do have that option, and I think that Karma alongside that big old bruiser, maybe it doesn't offer as much as something like the Udyr would, but you got the budget Udyr at least. Like, you got the great value version. It's still effective. So, I guess the biggest question for me is, this draft, it feels like a lot was built up to this top lane counter pick. And we saw the Wukong, not exactly something that screams 1v9 carry. I was almost hoping for something along the lines of a Camille up there.
Yeah, I was really expecting something with a little bit more oomph as well. Maybe something like an Irelia, I think would have been really, really good, because you have really great mid-game skirmish, mid-game team fight. And this composition from the side of Illinois really is focused around the mid-game, because come late game, no one really scales that well. Wukong kind of stops scaling at those 2 items, maybe 3, he gets a little bit more value, but afterwards, he just plays the same. And the Karma, of course, also 2 items, and then you kind of peter out. The only one who really adds another dimension is going to be this Ezreal, and even Ezreal in these team fights, there's so much chase on that team composition. I don't know if Ezreal is going to be able to survive very long unless if he just hits literally everything.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there 100%. Because, I mean, yes, there's damage on the side of IC. Like, don't get me wrong. If you catch a member out of position, there's going to be enough to burst them out. But
there's no invincible tank.
Yeah, the team fights become so much more difficult. I think is the big point that we have to look at is the ease of execution here for these two teams. And the longer the game goes on, the easier the tools are for the side of Grandview University, and the harder it is for the side of Illinois College. So we'll see what they have to do. I still think that both these teams got exactly what they wanted in draft, which makes me so excited for game number 1, because it should be a banger. We're going to toss it to a short break as these players get ready to hop on to Summoner's Rift, but don't touch that browser. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're finally back onto Summoner's Rift. Our producer was having a hard time counting. Gave us the in-game count like 4 times. But yeah, I don't want to rag on Andy. He's a wonderful producer. He does a lot of work to make us look good. And
get him!
Hell, if he weren't here, I know that I wouldn't. Get him! Platypus has the
Oh.
flash. Good flash there coming out, and honestly, just a good level 1. Love to see level 1s, whatever they are, from any team.
Yeah. Always good to see level 1s, especially if you're the underdog team, because you need to make a play early on to try and get those advantages. Go for that Hail Mary. And they went for it, and they're still able to get something out of it. Now, Platypus went ahead and secured himself the teleport instead of something like Ignite, so maybe we won't see as much scrap in that top side, but I still think, I mean, both you and me can kind of agree that it is going to be a top lane focused game.
Yeah, probably. If IC have their way, I'm sure it will be. Cold Cottage, this could be sneaky. Yoink! Pulls the red buff right out. It's not going to do much other than just, make the leash a bit worse for the Hecarim. Probably save yourself like 2 or 3 seconds.
Well, yeah, it actually burns quite a bit of time because now the bot lane is just not interested in leashing for him.
Let's see if these minions go down. Actually, Chucky's was not in XP range for the first 2 minions, so they're going to have desynced level 2 timers.
Yeah, and it is going to, however, allow Vayne to hit level 2, get that condemn, which I would imagine is what he grabs here for level 2. So Tumble and Condemn, basically your double disengage tools, and we see aggression in the top side, which is exactly what we wanted to see coming in from Frankuru.
Yeah, I want to ask, blowing that flash on to the Pantheon early on, obviously, if it's for free, they didn't trade anything, you'll take that flash, but not every summoner is worth pursuing. Is that really a lane that you want to return gank here early on if you're IC?
Oh yeah, for sure, because of just how much damage there is in Timitam and Prankuru. Savara gets a nice little trade there, and I mean, he just keeps going. He just keeps going.
Yeah, Pranker, he's even making sure that he gets behind the shield in these trades with his clone, because you do have a little bit of distance on that. So those small things have actually led to him really chunking Platypus out. He's already gone through all 3 of his corrupting pot charges. And if Coldthrow wasn't up there at his Gromp right now, and they might go for it anyway. There's a huge wave here. Timitam might be looking for the dive.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see the dive here. It should be a very easy
Land
dive.
the Volibear E.
Yep.
They've got help on the way, but it's not going to be here soon enough. First blood goes over to Prankuru.
Yeah, easy does it. Really no risk in that dive there unless Coulter was there. And as you can see, he's currently chilling out at Raptors. So that's going to be a forced teleport. That's both summoners now down for this Pantheon. And okay, that
sentence lands. Ignite comes out and Condemn hits. One more auto. What have done it? But Cold Cottage interrupted it. Oh my. Kigme gets to live, but Cold Throw's on the way. For how long can he stay alive? Can Cold Cottage survive in 1v3? Cold Throw, he knows where that ADC is hiding, and he's going for him. He gets the kill. Cold Cottage now has to just waddle his way to safety. Good play there from Grandview.
Yeah, really, really nice play there. And I also like the wherewithal coming in from Coldthrow to be like, you know what? There's a Blitzcrank under tower. I could probably kill him, but that's not where the real prize is. I'm going to go chase after the Ezreal, who's probably recalling in that bush. Finds the Ezreal, and that's a massive death timer because now he doesn't get the recall. Well, he's kind of forced to recall, but it's extra time that he has to wait to get back into lane, and he has to walk all the way back in addition. So he just misses so much in an already really bad lane for him.
Damn, return trip to this top side. Let me tell you, it doesn't get any better for Kingme in this game because Timmy Tam is going to be staying right up here, right next to Prankuru, who is just trying to maintain this freeze. Chookies has rotated up, though, and they're going to try to break it. I don't know if this is for the freeze, but the fact that they're teleporting, or they're bringing Cold Cottage up here at the first sign of trouble.
Nice flash.
Prankuru is going to get shoved under tower.
Blitzcrank is here.
They find the hook.
Blitzcrank has flash.
Flashes forward, gets the knock up. There's the hook. Platypus blocking a lot of damage. He's returning to lot 2. He finds the kill. And now Illinois College, they're in trouble. Cold Cottage is going to sacrifice his life to make sure Timmy Tam gets out. But that is 2 kills going over to Grandview. 1 on the Platypus and 1 on the Koskinen.
Yeah, it's massive that Koskinen also gets that one. And now, I don't know if Timmy Tam's going to necessarily die since he does have the Wukong there to back him up. But as expected, this bot lane, yeah, the moment you see that both supports are not there, well, it's just a 1v1 in vain. While you did get a burst trade coming out from that Ezreal, that's all the Ezreal does have in this lane. The chase down potential from Vayne is just too much. And I mean, Lobos pretty much gets to dictate when this Ezreal dies.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, right now he's only sitting on the 2 long swords. Ezreal, obviously, with a tier has almost no damage, but that Vayne sitting with 600 gold in her inventory, so not really feeling the item difference until she goes back to base to spend. Timmy Tam, he's feeling it right now. Coulter's got his number. 6. We'll probably find the shockwave here. Not much he can do. Now 4-1, a 1,500 gold lead for Grandview. We're off to the races here already.
Koskinen hitting level 6 and being able to join up with his jungler right there. That made really all the difference in that situation. And Timmy Tam not being level 6 also just gets really hard punished. And I mean, Savara's still having a good time, but the impact just hasn't been there. Yes, you're up ahead in minions, you're ahead in the XP, but the issue is Koskinen, he's been able to get out of the lane, influence other lanes, whereas Savara, you expect to see this Karma being able to roam non-stop, especially when you have a jungler like this Volibear, but it just hasn't happened quite yet.
Frankuru, he's going in. He's so low, though. One more auto attack. Oh, he finds it! Even after the flash, the Q range true, Frankuru gets a solo kill to turn things around.
A massive solo kill here for this team because they need something to jumpstart them going into this mid game, and that's going to also prompt them to start out this dragon. Getting Ocean Dragon, not exactly a world difference, but you do take those. And at the very least, it just gives you more sustain to allow Prankuru to punish this top lane even more.
Yeah, so crucial that play happened because I was just about to mention you were talking about Savara on this Karma and the small lead that he's gotten. But it does feel like if Prankuru is not ahead, IC is severely limited by the champions that they play. Sure, you can have a CS lead on a Karma, but what is she going to do? Shield you a little harder? If Prankuru is not doing damage, like, it's not going to matter. You're not going to win the team fights. And you pointed out the Ezreal is this one champion that can really add another layer to the game if he comes later on. But he is so far behind right now that extra layer is feeling more like a pipe dream at this point. Yep. So if Prankuru is not being accelerated, if he is not able to threaten everybody on the side of Grandview, Savara, great flash, but Hecarim's got the ultimate. They will chase him down. Grandview get another one back in their pockets. 2K gold up now.
Yeah, and once again, we just see Cultural really having his way on the map. He's been able to match some really nice timings, especially up in that top side. He's been involved in 3 of the 5 kills for the squad. And of course, we have Koskinen, who is just 3-0. So this Orianna definitely well set up to take over this mid game after that first mythic does come through.
Timmy Tam still just hovering around Prankuru here. As it's actually going to be Grandview taking the Herald away. Despite Timmy Tam being up here, they don't have the actual priorities. They can't aggress onto the objective. And Grandview right now, they're feeling great because sure, Prankuru might have won his lane kingdom, but I still have a lot of question marks around how is Prankuru going to interact with the rest of the team? Because if you look at the top lane as the island that it is, and the other 4 members as a separate team, Grandview's 4 members are much stronger right now. They're going to win a 4v4 fight against IC. And I don't know if adding Prankuru into the mix really changes that. Let's see if they can get him further ahead, though, as Timmy Tam's been up here for like a minute. And now Cold Cottage is up here, too. There's need this play to work.
Yeah, this should be free.
They don't even need him. They don't even need them.
Okay.
Prankuru just gonna solo kill them. Timmy Tam, you wasted all of that time. Prankuru needed no help with that play.
Well, he gave him that extra confidence to go for the play, knowing that he had backup.
He's there for the moral support.
Yeah,
King
now
Me,
King Me,
meanwhile, could desperately use a little bit more moral support of his own, as he just getting killed under the tier 2. It's his second time this game. Like I said, it doesn't get easier for King Me. I see routinely stick him on a weak side bot laner and just kind of say, good luck, Cold Cottage is going to go play top lane. And although he's able to do it successfully against a lot of teams, Grandview's a different story.
Yeah. I mean, King Me so far has looked more like a pawn rather than a king here. And it's definitely not been a good time for him. Now down 30 CS. It's going to continue to get worse and worse here. And I mean, for the side of IC, they're just looking to try and find a window to get that first team fight. Because this team, again, this team slows down quite a bit. So they need to go ahead, group up 5, try and utilize this teleport.
Timmy Tam is still level 7, by the way.
Okay. So long.
Just to point that out, level 7 to level 9 on Cold Throw because of, you know, all that time that he was spending top lane.
But not only that, you look at when that fight happens, Cold Throw had the Chem Tank already completed, and Timmy Tam was sitting on Bomby Cinder. So now he gets a whole lot more stats, but you could just see how fast he just evaporated in that little catch.
Yeah. And Illinois College, I need to see them incorporate Prankuru into their team now. He has the Gore Drinker. You know, maybe they're waiting for the level 11 for the upgrade on the ultimate, but the time for bleeding out to try to cover for Prankuru is over. He needs to be able to join the fights, and in a big way, as they found Koskinen out alone. There goes the engage. He's already flashed
the pick.
He's got nowhere left to run, but the teleports are being channeled. Grandview might want to continue this. Platypus has to run now. Chookies is coming to back him up. Thresh Lantern to safety, and they will be just fine.
Oh.
No, you don't
Nice
want
little
that.
hook. Nice
They're
little
just
hook
buying time.
slows things down, you know?
Congratulations, you hit it. Now don't take it.
Yeah. And now, I mean, again, so for the side of IC, they're so focused on this mid game. You look at this karma itemization. They've actually just gone for the Moonstone. And that was a little close there.
Timmy Tam still a smite. He did not smite that one. I repeat, he did not smite that.
Not even close, guys.
Yikes.
Didn't sweat. That's one of those situations where the team decides to just burst it down, and you're just like, wait, I just want this to go slowly so I can just smite it without having to, you know, predict everyone's damage. But the team decided to make it a little bit harder than necessary. Cultural going for the 1v1. Doesn't exactly have damage.
Prankuru, he's got a lot of damage, and he's got the team to back him up now. Platypus turning it into a 1v2.
Oh, he gets it.
Will make you pay for breaking
Can he get one more?
1v1,
Oh, no.
and he'll take one with him. Bam,
That
that
was-
mastery emote, Prankuru. Bam it.
That was actually so massive. And the fact that he is able to trade 1-for-1 and without his ultimate as well. And it really shows you how far ahead this monkey is. It's just the fact he hasn't been able to find the fight. And I feel like once they are able to find a 5v5, you're really going to be able to see him just really pop off. And for the side of GVU now, I mean, after seeing that, I think if you're GVU, you're saying, all right, let's wait 5 more minutes.
Right? Leave it in the oven. It's not quite done yet. Still a bit hot.
Let it cool down, and then we'll revisit the 5v5 discussion. But yeah, they should be looking to play away from this Wukong pick, unless if they're sending a lot more members like they did right there. But even then, you gotta be prepared to use summoners because this man's strong.
Yeah. And for the side of Illinois College, yes, you're down 4,000 gold, but there's not really a lot of urgency to fight right now. They have a good 5-minute window where they've got the first 2 dragons, so they're not going to be pressured by a soul or even soul point. The Baron's not going to be up for a couple of minutes yet. So they have a little while to catch back up and to look for that perfect fight. Grandview, would love to, kind of push the tempo right now onto this 4-man squad. But hey, Pranker is still fighting, or still farming, so you don't got to fight yet.
Yeah, and pulling up just the gold chart again, we see that Wukong is just so far ahead. He's 2,400 ahead. I mean, at the same time, some of his other lanes not doing so hot as well. Namely, I would say the Volibear. Yes, the Karma is behind, but Karma's still going to be able to do Karma things because she's gone for the Moonstone build. So she's still able to hit. Her timing's just fine. It's really just this Volibear that hopefully is durable enough with this Chem Tank and the ultimate, but that's really just the hope here.
Great pickup here from Illinois College, grabbing a Rift Herald away. Not really anything on the map to trade for. I mean, they might lose this mid lane tier 1, but it's a breath away from falling anyway. That was going to go down sooner than later. And I think the Rift Herald is a really important tool for Illinois College. I would have honestly liked to see Prankuru pick it up. He could have actually just been knocking down this top lane tower, and he is always going to be the dedicated split pusher. As Savaru needs to be with the team. But regardless, I think it's a nice objective to get when, Illinois College hasn't been feeling very strong right now. They don't even have to fight for it, which is even better.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think what I see we're going for was trying to pull GVU into that fight. So I actually like the play from both ends where, all right, well, I see they want to force a 5v5, so we're just going to go and try and start this Rift Herald. If they come contest it, that's great because then we're able to utilize this Wukong. If they don't contest it, well, that's something free for us because, again, that mid lane tower wasn't going to last long anyways. And then for GVU, it's just saying, all right, well, we don't want to fight against this Wukong. And instead, we're going to wait until this dragon to try and accumulate as much gold and resources to make this fight go as well as possible.
Yeah. Now, Illinois College, they're still down a couple of thousand gold. And again, they don't have to fight for these Drakes. They have Prankuru with him. I guess this is kind of the point where we get to find out, if Prankuru, if they decide to dedicate to this, we'll see if Prankuru is strong enough to tip the scales of this gold lead. As he is 5-2, he has his second item completed. Wow, that just clicked in my mind. He has a full Syrinx gauge.
Yeah.
And he's level 12. They're looking for Prankuru into the backline. 2-man knockup. Is it going to be enough? They force Lobos back, but there's the re-engage from the Hecarim, and it's huge.
Vayne's untouched.
Prankuru is trying to do the damage he can, but he's able to finish them off. There's one onto the support. Can you find any onto the carries? Platypus is way behind enemy lines. He's going to live for now, but he is completely cut off from the squad. And it does look like Illinois College won out on that fight. They maybe want to go for a little bit more. Prankuru sniffs out Platypus. And they're just going to force him away. Only one kill, but they win the fight. And we have our answer. Prankuru is strong enough.
Yeah, he is actually strong enough to 1v5 these early fights here while he still has the item advantage. So this is probably going to go on for like another 5 or 6 minutes because he's going to be able to hit that third item. I would imagine it's something like a GA to really amplify his ability to dive into that back line and then survive afterwards. And you saw there, while Lobos was pretty much untouched in that fight, once the Wukong was able to get to him, he had no choice but to pretty much leave it because there's just no access point when you're being contested in that choke point for that Vayne to get access into the backline, unless if you're going for a very wild Vayne flank.
Yeah, And now Illinois College may be 4,000 down, but they've got the sole point. They have the opportunity, should they choose to accept it, for Prank Kuru to join up with them again here in 4 minutes and force that same exact fight. Now, I guess the question on my mind is, we saw Prank Kuru be able to turn it around with the 2-item advantage. How much ground can Grandview cover in these next 3.5 minutes? Because if they can get onto 2-item spikes themselves, we talked about how the 2-item is the downhill slope point for the Wukong. He starts to fall off after this point.
But yeah, and King Me, he might fall off early as well.
It's a story as old as the beginning of this game. It's King Me getting called out alone under tower. So I'm actually, kind of impressed that it's only his 3rd time going down with, how much they have been throwing at him. I'm not trying to throw shade at King Me. He's been dealt a bad hand. He's doing the best he can.
I mean, this hand was pretty bad to begin with. Stuck into that lane against the Vayne, and I mean, the Vayne, thankfully, hasn't really had much impact. We saw the first fight that Vayne really got to get involved in, and didn't get to have any impact. So that's good news for the Ezreal, who once he gets his items, will be slowly be more influential in these objective fights, because you can interact with, of course, the arcane or the mystic shots and being able to poke people down. Whereas, I mean, Vayne, very committal. It's either fight or not.
Yeah. And there's not a whole, like, I'm looking down the line trying to see what are the Vayne spotting tools, right? There's not a lot of instantaneous lockdown. I mean, you're looking at Timmy Tam with his Q or Cold Cottage hitting a hook. So there is the possibility for Lobos to just smurf the fight. If you can avoid those 2 lockdowns, then yeah, you might be able to kite around Prank Kuru and, pull out the 1v9. But you don't want to have to do that. You've still got Koskinen, who is 5-1, and I think we need to be paying a lot of attention to. Colthrow as well is doing extremely well for himself. And so the Orianna ball delivery system is incredibly dangerous. If Grandview can find a choke point to fight around and get those 2 onto multiple members, it doesn't really matter how far ahead Prank Kuru is. That death brush almost was huge for IC.
And I really just wanted IC to just hard commit on that play, actually. You have the Karma speed up. You just go ahead, take the fight. As long like King Me wasn't really in a position where he was going to get hard punished right there, and you just need to be able to find the fight. And right now, the story of the game when it comes to these fights is just choke control. You saw in that last fight, Koskinen went down early, and once Koskinen goes down, they have no way to control those choke points with that Orianna ball. All of a sudden, then Chookies is the only one that can hold the choke, and that means your Vayne doesn't get the free hit anymore. And on the flip side, it's all about this monkey. He has to live up to the name of Monkey King, otherwise, well, we've seen the lead elsewhere.
Old Cottage has to flash, but he finds the hook onto Colt.
Is this it?
The engage in the backline. Shockwave finds 2 for Prank Kuru. That's a big old shield. Do they have the damage to punch through them? Nobody's gone down yet.
Lobos!
Old Cottage will be the first to fall. Gonna be returned by Savara. Double kill for the Vayne.
They're chasing.
Ease Dog is free firing. Vayne spotting. It's Lobos doing the spotting here. And he's got his eyes set on Illinois College. It's a quick 3 kills, and it's over to the Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, and right when I finished talking about choke point control, the side of IC, they take a fight when there's no choke point. Right out in the open, right out in mid lane, where all of a sudden, the Vayne can use that tumble to reposition herself and get access onto more juicy targets, where all of a sudden the Ezreal's job gets that much harder. Those skill shots don't come easy anymore. You can't just toss them willy-nilly into just one single point because they're all stuck there. All of a sudden you have to actually direct traffic, and they just weren't able to do that. And while it was a solid Wukong ultimate, it wasn't perfect, and that's where things now start to peter down or peter out. And this is where GVU, this is where things get really, really spicy for the side of IC.
Yeah, and this is where I start to question the Wukong pick and start to wonder why we didn't get something with a bit more oomph, as you labeled it in the draft. Because sure, Prankuru was 6-2, and he almost single-handedly wiped out like 3 carries in the back line, and he took a long time to kill, but he wasn't able to convert on it. And there's not much more damage on the side of Illinois College. If King Me cannot convert on those 3 low health carries, and we saw in those fights, he is not in a position to, then there's nobody else that can finish off those fights. Good job blocking the clone, but Prankuru doesn't have a lot of other places to go. Knock back into his team. He's got one more knock up. He heals. He's so hard to take down, but he doesn't have the damage. Vayne will heal up off the Scuttle Crab, and here's the re-engage from Grandview. Cold throw in the back line. Good shockwave, but it only finds one. And Grandview, they've got everything they want. Cold throw has to back up a little bit, but he's going to be just fine. King Me, the last remaining member, but Platypus will make sure that changes. Double kill for him. And Grandview find 5 for 0. Almost the clean ace.
They get 5 for 1, and they're going to be able to claim a Baron buff after it. So, you know, if you are the side of GVU, you've earned pretty much everything that you could possibly get. And for IC, their window of opportunity has pretty much closed. They're going to have one last go of it here in 2.5 minutes for this next dragon, but honestly, if they aren't able to successfully flip that Infernal Dragon, I don't know if even in 5 minutes after that, if they get themselves an Inferno Soul, I don't think that matters enough.
Yeah, and you can see Prankuru is teching into a little bit more damage now. He has the Black Cleaver completed. I think, like, worst case scenario for Illinois College is if Platypus is able to hold his own in the 1v1 against Prankuru. That's when you really have no options left. For now, at least they can try to resort to the split push, but not if King Me dies. Cold throw, there's nothing. There's no way King Me can live there. He has no options.
Yeah, and Savara, yes, you're here. You've got a good angle, but you don't have the damage to lock any target down. And now Prankuru is in trouble as well.
Very split fight coming out from the 2 teams. Cold throw in the back line, and it's Prankuru trying to find Lobos. Lobos is still alive, though. He goes golden to make sure of it. And the fight's over. 48 seconds on Prankuru. That could even mean a whole lot more as Grandview, they've got their eyes set in this mid lane. Cold throw has no fear. His threat knows no bounds as he will dive the Nexus towers and force Savara back to the fountain. They've got 3 minions, but Grandview's on a mission. They want to end the game here. 28 minutes in. Protect the cannon is the name of the game. Can they card in the rest of the wave? No, they're going to finally pull off. They have no more tools available, and they're not going to tempt fate too much.
Yeah, and I think it really just boils down to the fact that this dragon is coming up in 1 minute, so they want to be able to get their recalls, cash in their large sacks of money, and be able to really wipe away this game and finish the game at this dragon. 12k gold lead. If you're not spending that money, then I mean, don't blame me if you lose that fight. And now it all boils down to this fight.
You're not playing League of Legends, right?
It all boils down to this, Audio. Can they make the comeback? Because it has to come with this fight, and it has to come from a flank from Prankuru.
If I'm Illinois College, I'm not fighting here. I don't know what they're doing so far away from their base. Full throw is going to dive into the back line. This is exactly the choke that Grandview wants to fight around, and they've already found 2. Full throw, he's looking for more. Can he knock Savara back? No, it's just into the tower. And Timitam's going to flash forward, but Azog will stun him into a wall and delete him. I'm pretty sure that was less than 3 auto attacks. Savara has to teleport to the mid wave just to stay safe. Never mind. There is nowhere that's safe. Platypus will take him down. They don't need the dragon. Grandview only needed a chance. And they'll take it. End this game. 30 minutes in. An absolute clinic from our first place team.
26-7 when it came to that kill score here. And I mean, 6 of those kills were from Prankuru. he was also involved in all 7 of those kills
Yeah.
on the team. And it just shows you that they just couldn't do anything without him. And that was a big issue. Yes, you got the karma. Yes, you got the mid-game team fight, but they didn't find any mid-game team fights, which was the problem, and they didn't find any early karma roams, which was also an issue in this game.
When I'm looking at Illinois College and I'm looking at how far ahead Prankuru got, I'm kicking myself over the draft here because the way that it was set up, remember this Wukong was the very last pick on red side. It felt like IC were building up to some sort of doomsday top laner that was going to take over the game. They got the weak side bot, they got the roaming engage support, they got the support in the mid lane as well. And then we saw Wukong come out, and Wukong does not scream strong side top laner to me. It screams weak side top laner to me. So going forward, I want one of 2 things from Illinois College: either run that draft back with maybe some slight variations, but put Prankuru on a more dominant top laner, or give him the Wukong. He can obviously generate leads on his own and invest more into King Me. I still think that King Me is a bit untapped for Illinois College. And in this game, man, they really left him out to dry. 0-6-2, but I don't really think it was much his fault. The man was getting dove. He was 1v2 at like level 5.
Yeah, they early picked the Ezreal, and then it just gets immediately punished by the Vayne pick. Once the Vayne pick comes through, I mean, they even invested into a Blitzcrank who does not offer the Ezreal any sort of lifeline in that lane.
I mean, he wasn't even there.
Yeah, exactly. He wants to just leave lane as fast as possible, and you just saw King Me is just like, all right, guys, I'm chilling, I guess.
But I mean, we'll have to see what it's going to be. Grandview not unexpectedly up 1 game in this series now.
It's best of 5.
Going into this, yeah, best of 5. I think anybody that has been watching the MEC so far, just the fact that Grandview have not dropped a game, we're expecting them to come out on top. I think Illinois College, your goal here, take as many games off them as you can. If you can upset, you're the heroes of the MEC. We'll be singing your praises for years to come. But if you can just take 1 or even 2 games off of them, I think that's a win in your books. We'll see if they're able to make some changes here going into game number 2. We're going to toss it into a short break as these players get ready, and we'll see you on the other side.
At the bottom of the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea. At the bottom of the ocean, don't know if I'll make it back home.
Welcome back, everybody. Did you miss us? Because I sure missed you. I'm sure Nightstar did too. But I like you better, Twitch chat. Just remember that. We're back with game number 2 here between Grandview University and Illinois College. And GVU put on a bit of a clinic in game 1. Not entirely unexpected, but I guess I was hoping that this David would have had a couple more rocks in his slingshot when taking on Goliath. We'll see. Maybe he's got something special for round 2.
Hey, it didn't look completely out of hand. It was kind of when it hit 20 minutes, that's when things got out of hand. But before then, it was pretty contested, I would say, because of how much of a lead Prankuru was able to accumulate on that Wukong. You saw that GVU had to slow things down. They had to account for this really strong top laner before they started to ramp things up. And when I said it in right after the draft, after 2 items, that's when GVU will find those fights, and find those fights they did.
All right, well, let's head into draft for game number 2. Now, is it gonna be the same old here for IC, or might we see them put a little bit more resources towards King Me if they dare?
Yeah, that would be nice.
I mean,
to
they
see.
do sometimes. I won't say that they never do. Occasionally, they throw them a couple of bones, but it is more often towards Prankuru. Maybe now that they've seen Prankuru get a lead and not convert on it, maybe they'll swap tactics here. But again, if they do decide to go through Prankuru, I just want to see something with more damage than the Wukong.
Yeah, either a little bit more threat to that back line, or just a lot more threats in the 1v1. And it felt like he tried to go for both and came pretty short on both here, as we're going to see bans not really change a whole lot, although the Hecarim ban is going to be one of the big ones, which means they also aren't looking for a first pick jungler here, at least in the Hecarim.
Yeah. Bans coming through all the way across. Now, IC are now on the blue side, so we do not have the counter pick availability for Prankuru. Now, IC will often... Oh, Seraphine coming through. I love this. I love any time a team is willing to pick Seraphine, and I'm honestly surprised it came through the draft.
Yeah, they go ahead and really allow the Seraphine to come through. Of course, that was the ban that they did drop for this Hecarim ban. And on the flip side, we are seeing a Karma being hovered. So one of the things with the Seraphine is that it does... they do play it with Savara and also King Me. So there are options to go with this Seraphine pick. In this Xin Zhao, I would be incredibly excited to see. I believe we saw it last week when Kotaro did lock it in. It went for Eclipse, which, you know, there's a couple variations that you can go for when it comes to this, the Xin Zhao at the moment. It really just comes down to jungler's preference at the moment, because no one has really fleshed out the build.
Yeah, the Seraphine opens up a lot of options here for IC as well. One of the best mid lane supports to pair with aggressive jungle / top laners is, I do expect this is probably going to be Savara taking the Seraphine in the mid lane. I don't see Cold Cottage often off of those, you know, kind of engage roaming supports like that Blitzcranker, like that Thresh that's still on the table. But it's going to be the Xayah locked in once again. This is a pick that I like a lot more for King Me. His Ezreal is great, but the Xayah offers a similar role with a lot more damage and a lot more late game threat. And I think she's actually sitting at a pretty comfortable spot in the meta, perhaps even rising, with some small nerfs coming through to Kaisa and Tristana. And it will be the Volibear once again picked up for IC as well.
Volibear, a little bit interesting that they just go back for this pick.
Kali.
And Kali instantly locked in. So this is definitely directed at that Seraphine mid pick, I think, for the side of GVU. They understand that Seraphine's not going into the hands of Cold Cottage here, and unless if you're playing a solo lane Xayah, that would be the only way to get this Seraphine into the bottom lane.
Yeah, Riverside has long been one of the best mid laners here in the Midwest Esports Conference, and blind picking a Seraphine against him is throwing down the gauntlet. He is somebody that will pick that up and answer your challenge. I'm super excited to see the Akali coming out. She got a little bit of changes on this lax patch. Essentially, like the cliff notes, her laning phase is a bit weaker. She has less energy and does a little bit less damage, but her burst late game is a lot stronger, especially on her Shuriken flip. The second half of that is very loaded with damage right now. So if she is able to land her full combo on you, it's gonna hurt, and probably a lot more than it has in previous patches.
Yeah, but the big difference also is the fact that it is so much backloaded. So you can't just go ahead, poke with the Shuriken flip, and not commit. It really is about committal when it comes to this Akali. And they're actually going to go ahead and R4 the Braum. So Braum Aphelios doesn't necessarily provide the same safety as something like a Thresh, but because Thresh did get banned out, it almost feels like this is the next best thing available for this bot side. And on the flip side, we do get to see a Rel. So a lot of punish capability here for the side of IC. They have a Seraphine and they have a Rel. So if the side of GVU overextend or get too greedy to start out a fight, it should go very, very well for Illinois College this time around.
Yeah, the Braum as well answers a lot of what Grandview have brought to the table. The Xayah Feathers, the Seraphine Charm, some of these really important team fighting tools that can make or break fights, but the Braum can just completely destroy. So I do like that for Grandview's team fighting. Renekton, the final pick here, it's going to be the blind Renekton for Prankuru, and this is a pick that in the early game is just as strong as ever. But we got to point out that losing 250 health on your rank 3 ultimate means that Renekton in the later games is like even worse than he was before. He's so squishy. So this is definitely a comp where Prankuru once again has to get out ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, this time around it feels a little bit odd to go for this Renekton pick because your composition is so well rounded when it comes to scaling into the late game. I would have much rather see it come out in game number 1 where you are so focused on slamming early mid game, and Renekton really capitalizes off of that. This time around, because you have Seraphine, you have Rel, you have Xayah, you want to hit 2-3 items, and by that time the Renekton is just kind of a really tiny meatball. He's not even a giant meatball. If he gets to be 4-0, maybe he gets to be a giant meatball, but otherwise it feels pretty lackluster here.
It's like you were sitting down to make meatballs and like you made all the regular sized one and you look down in the bowl, you've got just a little bit of meat left. You're like, I can make that into a tiny little meatball. Look at that. It's a little baby meatball right next to all the other ones. It's what the Renekton feels like right now in the late game. But, you know, I'm looking at this draft and this seems like an IC draft, almost from game 1, but like with just different variations. We swapped out the Karma for the Seraphine, we swapped out the Ezreal for the Xayah, and you know, we've now got the Renekton in the top lane. I'm seeing some similar problems though. There still is pretty low damage, you know, if King Me does get put behind, and IC's playstyle often puts him behind. And you're putting a lot into this Renekton, which again can be strong in the early game. This is a pick that Prankuru can 1v9 carry on. But you know, is it going to be enough after the recent nerfs? I think also there's a better top jungle for the side of Grandview.
Yep.
And that might be a big roadblock for them to overcome.
Yeah, and that's the point I really wanted to bring up, is the fact that last time they had Wukong Volibear against the Pantheon Hecarim. So they had a top jungle duo that could scrap pretty well. However, this time around, the Xin Zhao's just the king of early game, and Pantheon's not too far behind in that regard. Now, while Renekton also very good in the early game, I don't feel that same power coming out from the Volibear jungle at the moment.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's going to have to go ahead and prove me wrong, but in my mind, I just see this Pantheon Xin combination really running away with this top side.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to a tank plus a carry plus or against 2 carries. And, you know, tanks need gold. They need stats to get resistances before they are effective. Volley Bear, he offers some burst on his E, but just nothing else in that 2v2 early on. So I am once again favoring Grandview, and I'm also really liking that they picked up both the Xin Zhao and the Akali this time around. It almost feels like they're just testing out the new patch, the new champions here in game 2. And hey, why shouldn't they? They're feeling great. They've got tons of damage in their comp, and they're looking to bring themselves to series points in this best of 5 here. What are your thoughts on Illinois College's chances in game 2?
Yeah, so I think their way in to try and win this game does come from moving the game later and later on. Yes, the Renekton is going to drop off, but if you look at the composition, as far as structure goes, they'll still be able to fight front to back. They have the Seraphine, they have the Xayah, they have 3 bruisery, tanky things. Whereas on the flip side, you're looking at a Xin Zhao, most likely he's not going for a tank build, so you're just stuck with just this Braum. And if Braum uses that door, throws down the door, that's all he's got for as far as being durable for this front line. And after that, it's off to the races. They're so squishy beyond the Braum throwing up the shield that if the Xayah is able to get footing into this game, isn't hard punished in lane, I give them a really big chance of winning this game.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and it brings up a point of, you know, a lot of things I like to think about the draft and the way that I kind of rate drafts. I think the best way to play League of Legends right now is a fast-paced game. It's a snowbally, it's pushing your advantages, and to do that, you should be drafting a lot of tools, a lot of agency in the early game, a lot of damage, which I think Grandview has, but it always comes with that catch of if you don't use it correctly, you're not going to have the front line. You're not going to have the things that a front to back safe team fight comp is going to provide. And it's much easier to play the game front to back. It's much easier for Illinois College's composition to succeed. Now, Grandview, I think they're the better team, and so they should be able to pull it off. But you got to keep that in the back of your mind, that there's always the chance that if you don't do it correctly, you could get screwed. But,
Yeah,
we're going to...
I think the window is going... Yeah, I think the window is 20 minutes, 5K difference. If GVU are able to sustain that gold difference, then this composition becomes really scary. Otherwise, IC should be able to grind their way back.
Well, let's see what they're able to do. Grandview up 1-0 in the series, but IC, we're looking for a team to take them on. I'm tired of Grandview winning every single series. Please bring it back for us here, the fans. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break. Welcome back, everybody, to Summoner's Rift as these teams gear up for game number 2. Grandview up 1-0, and I see looking to turn it around here is, Grandview. They know exactly what I like. They're going to move out in a 5-man squad. I want all the shenanigans.
You're not ready this time.
Prankaroo. Does he go up and check this brush, though?
Oh, if he walks up, the game might just be over.
Please. Okay, I respect the attempt from Grandview at least. I don't know if they actually caught vision of Prankaroo walking into that brush, or if they know he's up here, but they will call it off.
Yeah, they are going to call it off. And I mean, this time around for the side of Illinois College, it's not like they have an insane level 1 with this composition. They don't have that clear blitzcrank, pull you into the team, force out easy summoner right then and there. This time around, it's going to be a little bit more standard, play a little bit more slow, and that's not exactly what the Renekton wants to see.
No, not what the Renekton wants to see at all, but I think it's something that I need to keep in mind overall with this game, because yes, you've got a top lane that wants to be ahead, but if you look at the other team, this is such a snowbally comp and such an early game powerhouse for Grandview University. I think that the better option for Illinois College is to just try to play the scaling game. Like, you can obviously make plays, try to trade objectives like where it's necessary, but I don't want to see a lot of unnecessary, overly proactive plays from them this game.
Yeah, and one of the things we were chatting about during the break while we were waiting to get into game is the fact, you know, Kingmate, he could really use some of these resources. Prankaroo, this just, you're kind of
you think back to game. You think back to game 1, and that's like status quo for Illinois College. They put King Me onto Ezreal or to Zaya, and they literally just say, good luck. Cold Cottage is there for the first parts of laning phase, but then it is all Prankaroo all the time. And King Me, I think he's such a brilliant ADC, and I think that in the games that he does get resources, it shows. So I hope this is one of those games.
Yeah, and I mean, at the very least, Rel is one of those champions that wants to stick in lane, because when you do go out and roam, you're not nearly as effective as a champion, unless if your jungler is going to hang out with you. And that could be a way, you know, that they try and play, but if you're not focusing resources into the Zaya does take a little bit to ramp up, and you could just look at a very similar game to game number 1 where you hit one item and you only have one item. Now, top 2v2, this is not what they want to see here, but Savara's here.
Now they do have the mid laner, so 3-2, but Grandview, they're just going to back up. They've got Riverside here now, so they can go for this. Timmy Tammy jukes upward. That's going to mean he has to flash away. Good double root, but Riverside are just showing up to make sure that this wave is going to crash.
Yeah, nice little
wave
there.
Platypus. He has no mana. Prankaroo is looking for him. One more auto attack would do it. First blood for Prankaroo.
And this is what we saw in game number 1 as well. You don't need to put resources into the man, for him to get ahead. It's time to just invest those, make sure he has enough vision resources to be able to keep it isolated. But after that, you don't need
this
to
would be
force
terrible. If Platypus teleports back to lane and dies, okay, he has the flash to get out of there.
Okay.
So disaster avoided, but still critical up there in the top lane. And I 100% agree, but I need to call out Platypus for that play because you just had your jungler and mid laner roam all the way up to make sure you could crash your wave, and you walk up aggressively and trade your life back as soon as they leave. Like, that is just disastrous because Grandview were the ones dedicated resources. Riverside could have been cashing in on turret plates in the mid lane while that whole thing went down.
Yeah, and now Prankuru, yes, he's a little bit low on HP, but he's going to have that Q. And with how many minions are there, like, this is just another big win for Prankuru. In fact, if he is able to get this dive, like,
Prankuru doesn't have
coming
6,
through.
but he could probably turn around anyway. The slice and the dice. Platypus is being served for dinner. He's going to die to minions? No way.
No.
Okay, he's alive. He's alive.
He's out.
Ooh!
And
How much? 36 HP.
The big thing is, Audio, is the fact that he didn't even have to use flash to get out of tower range. He just walks it off, and that means he has a massive advantage, and he has massive resource advantage as well. He has both summoners. He can teleport back into this lane, but he doesn't need to. He can teleport bot lane. If Azog and Chucky, if they walk up too far, they will get teleported on because Prankuru is about to hit level 6.
And again, this is a pick that if you get him as far ahead as he was in game 1, Renekton can 1v9 the game. So loving the start here so far from IC. They put minimal resources up towards that top side, which I think is the most important thing. Timmy Tam just came to counter gank one time, and now Prankuru, he gave him an inch. He's trying to take a mile. He has dominance available, but it's in a 1v2. He flashes away, and he'll be okay. Actually, he's going to walk back forward. He's more than okay.
Yeah, at the very least, they're able to burn that flash here. And able to at least get that resource is really big. And now here in this bottom lane, it just looks like Kingme and Cold Cottage, they're getting absolutely abused against this Berserker Greaves affiliate.
Timmy Tam is on the dragon right now. I feel like it would have been free for him to come down here and take the dragon.
He's gonna try it again.
Or, yeah, make the bot lane play. He's going to go for it again, but he spotted out this time.
Yeah.
But does get the Drake for themselves, which I think is even crazier for Illinois College because they aren't winning this bot lane. This should be their weak side. They should definitely not be getting dragons early on when Prankuru is the one demanding all the attention.
Yeah, and I think it also comes down to the fact that Kothro, I mean, this is a skirmish-heavy jungler. He should have been able to really try and fight his way into that and get control over that bot side, at least vision-wise. Top side, you're clearly kind of playing from the back foot there. So most likely not looking for a way in, as we can see some emotes, man. That's almost as good as the Kai'Sa spam.
Yeah, I mean, a champion like Seraphine wouldn't be complete without a super annoying spam taunt. Riot really knows how to push our buttons. Savaro, though, doing a good job. You know, now that we bring him up, he's down 10 CS in this lane, but that's exactly where the Seraphine feels comfortable being. And we haven't seen Riverside unlocked either. He's level 7 now. You know, we haven't seen him team up with Coulter at all. He was just that one play into the top lane where he showed up, pushed the wave, and walked away. So IC have not only gotten Prankuru very far ahead, but they've shut down a lot of the early game plans that Grandview University had.
Yeah, and I mean, and still in that regard for the side of GVU, we're going to see
there's still time for Grandview to break this one open. They're going to try, and Prankuru, does he have the kill? No, he doesn't. Platypus gets the shutdown. Now Timmy Tam.
Timmy Tam.
He knows it, and he's trying to trade one back. He will. That E base damage. I'm telling you, it's pretty crazy. But Riverside teleports in to get the trade.
Yeah, and that's really
now Chucky's how forward. It's action all over the map. Azog wants to trade into Kingme. There comes the ultimate. The feather call, not there in time. Might have been on cooldown. And it's going to be a one trade for sure for Azog and Chuggies.
Big there, but now
Magnus Storm flash in. They've got Savara on the flank. Can they trade King Me in time? The charm lands, but the ADC falls. It will be traded back. Can Savara pick up both? Chuggies is pretty tanky. There's a knockup. One more auto attack. Come on, Savara. You can do it.
What?
There he goes. Ah, Cold Goddess gets it anyway. No.
Oh, well.
You tried so hard to give it over.
That was really awkward. At the very least, you know,
Doesn't get either kills. Rel is too low.
Savara with a noise play.
I mean, yeah, it was. It was a beautiful two-man charm. He got the two-man root as well. It's unfortunate he doesn't get any of the gold.
Yeah. And doesn't miss out any of the CS mid lane as well. So it's a free play that he's able to pull off essentially there, which is really, really good for the side of IC. They have the gold advantage. They have the kill lead. This is exactly where you want to be as a composition that's already going to be scaling incredibly well.
Yeah, everything is looking great for the side of Illinois College, but they have to hold on to it. And teams before have found early leads against Grandview University. It's holding on to that lead can be the difficult part. Coldthrow is going to take down the Rift Herald, and now we'll see a fight ensue. It's going to be a 4-on-3. Grandview have the numbers here, but Platypus is just gone.
Savara's here.
Guru is so strong. Timmy Tam will soon follow, and Grandview, once Riverside joins, it's a whole different kind of fight. He's going to grab himself a triple kill.
Well, all the comments that I said right before that fight, I'd like to retract them all.
It's holding on to that lead. That's the difficult part.
Yeah, it feels like when they try and go for this 4v4 setup or 3v3, the side of GVU is just better at them. Whether it's rotating there first or just playing out the fight. And you saw right there, they had Savara there, but they never grouped around Savara, which means you're not able to utilize the power of the Seraphine. You can't utilize the extra range on their ultimates, or the fact that she provides you that extra redemption heal, AoE buffs, and all that extra pizzazz that a Seraphine brings, and they just lose the skirmish. And now this is, I feel like it's almost they're throwing the game on the line.
They're down in gold, and yeah, I agree. This is very questionable. Teleport gonna come through. They're gonna find the Suns. Charm's gonna land.
Big play!
Both sides hitting huge ultimates, but Grandview has just more damage. Prankuru is not far enough ahead. Kingme's gonna try to kite backwards. Savara's on a single HP. Count them, 1. And Azog will easily pick up that kill over the wall. Now Riverside might look for a turret dive here. Could be tough.
I don't think
diving a Renekton. And yeah, they should be happy to just take the fight. And the cherry on top, the Mounted Drake.
Yeah, they're gonna go ahead, grab that Mountain Dragon. And that was not a fight that they really wanted. Yes, you have the Moonstone. I think the Moonstone was completed for that fight. But even if you do, you're again, while the Renekton wants to fight there,
I think the biggest thing is that Renekton still isn't on one item. And this feels like almost overcompensation for game number 1, because I think in last game with the lead that Prankuru had, IC made a big mistake by not incorporating him into their fights earlier. This time, it's too soon. Renekton's 2-2. He doesn't have a 4-kill lead. He doesn't even have a mythic. You can't be pulling him into fights that early.
Yeah, and I would say the real issue was the fact that King Me, once again, just doesn't have the items right now. Like, I mean, at this point, you should be looking at something like the Essence Reaver, but he's already gone for the Noon Quiver, so he's looking more of just getting that mythic online rather than that first item power spike. So I feel like if he's already committed to that build, you definitely shouldn't be fighting for that dragon.
The team fight is strong, but it's not strong enough yet for the side of Illinois College. And Prankuru now, I mean, I struggle to watch Illinois College when Prankuru is not ahead because you can see that he wants to look for fights. He's posturing aggressively. He's sitting in the fog of war, but he's still not on a mythic. Like, nothing's changed since the last fight. Grandview are still stronger. And in fact, they're going to win the fight even harder now. They've got 2 mythics on their side. So I'm curious as to how Illinois College is going to pivot now and try to play this game now that Prankuru can't be that spearhead for them.
Yeah, and now we see the first mythics coming out for the side of Grandview, and they have the Eclipse, they have the Night Harvester. There's so much upfront damage. If these 2 champions get onto the backline's just gone. No amount of healing and shielding from Savara is going to be able to keep them alive, because all this damage is going to kill them before those heals and shields come through.
Yeah, and those heals and shields aren't even that strong at this point. I mean, no Staff of Flowing Water coming through yet, and there's not even, finally, we see Timmy Tam finishing up the Turbo Chem tank, so he's going to be feeling a bit beefier now that Seraphine has a front line to actually keep alive. But again, these mythics just starting to trickle in now. We already see 3 completed on the side of Grandview. There's the 3rd for Illinois College. They really want to get Prankuru on him. Once they do, they'll be feeling a lot more comfortable because he's still winning this matchup against Platypus super hard.
Yeah, and now we're actually going to see the mythic coming out for the Xayah, and it's actually Gale Force. I don't like this Gale Force pickup either, because it feels more of she wants to play defensively, but
throw in a 1v2. He's got Riverside behind him. 2-man charm gonna land, but has it just bought time?
No damage.
Okay, cool throw. I'm surprised they didn't go in there, to be honest with you.
I have to agree. Where
might just not have the information, I guess.
I guess they were worried about the Rel being able to collapse after coming off of that top lane recall.
Here's the play.
Instead,
they found the ADC, and they're not going to give that one up so easy. Kingme is going to have to burn the flash and the ultimate to get away from that one. Azog! Oh my god! 200 years in the making. Azog finds a kill from downtown.
From way downtown. Steph Curry. Range right
just
there.
Spamming Aphelios R in chat, like, yeah, he knows how bullshit that was. Oh my god.
Oh, the range is nuts. And yeah, again, for Kingme, if you're going for a defensive style, I'd much rather see the shield bow come out. Get that extra shielding. Make sure that you also get the extra sustain up front, rather than going for maybe this assassin. It's built more for assassin style AD carries nowadays because of how long the cooldown.
Cold throw. He's found his latest victim in Cold Cottage. He does hop the wall, but with slivers of HP, Platypus didn't have the damage on that flash Q, although it did land. I'll give him props for that one. He hit it. An impressive hit.
Yeah.
Maybe if he wasn't 1 in 5, that would have got the kill.
Yeah, if he had a little bit more items to, back up the play, might have worked out a little bit better for him. And for the side of IC, we're waiting for the items to come through. The Stride Breaker obtains by Renekton at least, so they've hit their 1 item. But this composition already feels like it's slowed down. It's put on the back foot because the 1 items have come through on the flip side, and these 1 items are a lot stronger. We've already seen demonstrated firsthand.
Yeah. Now, Nightstar, I've got a bone to pick with Prankuru right now, and I want to know if I'm crazy or not. Building the Stride Breaker here, I feel like this would be the game for the Gore Drinker, because you've got 3 members that are looking to dive onto you, and especially from behind.
Yeah. I think this is definitely feeds more into that Gore Drinker build, because they are kind of just offering themselves into you. You don't have to work really hard in these fights, whereas in the last game you needed to get access into the backline. And again, I feel like a lot of these things,
hold that
it's
thought.
just overcompensation.
For Riverside, and he's level 12 right now. He has a lot of DPS, but not enough for 3 members
4.
4. Prankuru might
5.
want his piece of that shutdown. If Riverside gets away, it'll be so bad. He goes back in, and then flashes back out, and then he goes back in, and then he shakes it all about. It's Grand
Teleport coming in. They're
now
coming in for the claps.
fight. They are on the flank. Platypus. He's here. Cold throw. He's doing damage. He's taking it up with the ultimate. Charge.
Azog's here now.
Platypus is just gone. He's just a caster minion here in this fight. He's deleted. But
That's double.
Azog has the damage. Lobos is untouched. And every
Triple.
auto attack, a knife
Quad.
into the hearts of Illinois College. One more and it's the pentakill for Lobos on the Aphelios.
Who said this champion was put into the dirt? Not me. This was also a perfect setup for the better Aphelios, which is Jinx. But you know what? Aphelios just does these things when he has those weapons, and you just saw him rip them to shreds. He gets that first kill, and he is off to the races. And with how far ahead they are, they don't need that frontline champion to allow Aphelios to play the game, because he's already playing the game's almost single player mode at the moment.
Completely untouched in that backline, and you can see like there is just no threat going onto Lobos from anybody. All of Illinois College is terrified of Colthrow, of Riverside diving onto them and threatening their life. And man, they weren't even the final bosses. Colthrow and Riverside are the henchmen. Azog is the raid boss here. He's 8-1-2. He's 2.5 items. King Me, he's not even halfway to his second yet.
Yeah, and I mean, it goes back to the point that we brought up at the beginning of the game. You need to get this man some gold. And Savara can't even 1v1 the jungler.
It's a Seraphine. He's not going to 1v1 anybody, especially not Colthrow right now. And, I mean, Savara...
Could be a dive.
Was out way overextended. Yeah, they're looking for the dive now. They have the 5v4, so they can really make any plays they want happen. They're looking for something to turn into a Baron here. But for now, they can just continue to pick up the freestanding gold on the map. Prankuru is walking down.
And he's walking down,
Call
but
the playoff.
I mean, on the flip side, you have Riverside just pushing it in that bot wave. So they had options to play off of for the side of GVU, and now they're at an 8k gold lead. You're looking at this dragon that's coming up in 1 minute, and for the side of IC, I feel like this really has to be the one that you just concede. You should not be contesting this one, otherwise you will lose the game off of it.
I mean, at this point, Nightstar, I hate to be pessimistic, but I'd almost say the same about this game. Just, concede this one, start thinking about the next game, and what changes could we make? Because right now, 8,000 gold down at 8 minutes, and just look at the score lines. The numbers are
this is it.
ridiculous.
They're collapsing, look!
Looking for the final fight. Riverside is into the back line. A charm comes out, and it does hit too, but the back line, what back line? It's gone! Colthrow's on a rampage. Riverside doesn't hit the shuriken flip. King Me, the flash recall, but it's not enough. Azog has way too much DPS. And Grandview, they might be able to end this push right here. 20 seconds still on any members, but they don't quite have the wave prepped. We'll have to wait a little bit longer.
They're going to look to try and grab everything. They're going to go ahead, grab this mid lane tower. At the same time, they're taking that dragon. In fact, okay.
What?
They're backing off.
Grandview!
They're recalling.
The tower? You forgot the tower. It was right there.
They're preparing for they're resetting for Baron.
I mean, you don't have to take the inhibitor. Like, if you're worried about giving gold over to your opponents, take the tower and just leave the inhib open. I don't know. Maybe Grandview just wants some more stage experience. It's like those scrims where you blast them early and you're like, well, I kind of want to see what, 30 plus minutes looks like. So let's drag it out a bit.
That seems to be a little bit rough there. And I mean, for the side of Grandview, they have such a large lead. They really can just do whatever they want. And for Illinois College, what can you do? You were kind
Only
of
what
praying.
Grandview lets you. Prankuru is going to try to make something proactive happen. This is the one place on the
They
map
have
that
advantage
IC
here.
can like actually impose their will. It's in the 1v1 between Prankuru and Platypus, and yeah, he's going to eventually burn down. You take the little wins if you're Illinois College.
Yeah, and Riverside will also take the wins here.
Gordon,
But they go!
great Magnet Storm onto 4 members. The charm's going to be blocked by the Braum. That's why you picked Braum against this composition.
Lobos, what is that heal?
The lifesteal is insane. I think we need to have a little bit more than 200 years in that meme. That was an entire millennium of power packed into that Aphelios. Okay, this is next level BM.
They're staggering the death timers. Just like this
man,
one.
I love it.
Oh man, but
God.
what? Oh my god. Lobos was so low in that fight. He got to, I want to say, 150-ish HP there, and then he just
man.
he pops Severum,
They're gonna TP
presses
for this.
Q, and just heals back to half health, and then he
And
just eats them up.
There's no healing cut. Oh, he got the execute. Good job, Prankuru. But there's no healing cut on the side of Illinois College. They've got Cold Cottage's Ignite, which is still up, by the way. And that's it. There's no Thornmail. There's no Mortal Reminder. You just saw the Bramble Vest come in from Prankuru. But yeah, Azog is going to continue to have that much sustain. And now that he's picked up this Vamp Scepter, it looks like he's going towards a Bloodthirster. He's going to have a lot more.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier. Is what
Never
we're trying
gets
to say
easier
here.
against Granby University. Always gets harder.
Yeah, and what I would assume comes out here is going to be that Chempunk to try and cut down the healing here from Savaro. Hopefully. Especially since there is also double Eclipse, so that provides extra healing as well in these team fights, and there's just so
Double
much
Eclipse,
to deal
you've
with.
got the Derek's Gauge. Like, how do you kill anybody other than maybe Riversided? But he's got his Shroud, he's got the Zanyas. Like, Platypus is the only player that they have consistently found kills on. 2 of Illinois College's 9 kills are not on Platypus. So, but it doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to harp on Platypus. He was the sacrificial lamb for this team. You know, you give Prankuru his small meal, and then you just take over the rest of the map. And Platypus was that meal this time.
Yeah, you give him the appetizer, but you'll gladly take the very nice 12-course entree.
It's like an animal in captivity. Like, you're not going to feed a lion at the zoo an actual zebra. You just give him a steak. And they're looking to make... They have no damage. They can't kill Goldthrow. There's all 5 members wailing on him. They'll eventually take him down, but how much was burned to get it? Here comes Platypus now. Here comes Riverside and Legendary. He's already taken out the ADC. Prankuru maybe making a miracle happen. No, spoke too soon. Riverside will shut him down. Riverside doesn't believe in miracles. He believes in Akali. And Akali is going to bring Granby University to series point here.
Yep.
Maybe on this wave, maybe on the next one, who knows? But it will happen, trust me.
Yeah, the
Granby
name's
with one
River-sided,
thing,
but it's
they
all
are
looking one-sided audio.
Couldn't have said it better than myself. Beautiful, Nightstar. Okay,
That's the
come on,
one-liner
guys.
for tonight.
The Endham's right there. There's still 10 seconds on Prankuru. I mean, Kigby's alive, but I feel like Grandview's just stretching this one out at this point. They want more items on Azog. They want to see how much lifesteal and Aphelios can truly achieve in a game of League of Legends.
And look, he has tenacity. He's not even getting the extra lifesteal from the item. In fact, well, you know, can be. You know what his name should be?
He knows.
Bop me, because he's getting bopped.
He knows. Wait. Wait!
He's
Okay.
letting him go.
This is like borderline trolling. Come on, Grandview.
Alright.
Kill King Me. Like, he should have died. Just kill him. Okay, Grandview, like, I get it. You're the better team. You've sufficiently broken Illinois College, okay? They're a broken team. Stop playing with your food and just end their misery.
Not a lot of words can be used to describe what we just saw there, but I think what we can say is that this game's about to be over.
One way or another. I mean, maybe if Grandview are feeling nice, they'll forfeit for Illinois College. Let them get an extra game off them. But short
That's
of
how they
that,
lose their unbeaten streak.
I guess so. I mean, they haven't lost a series. They have lost a game in the semifinals. If you're wondering why we're not talking about the action, it's because we saw this coming about 30 minutes ago. Grandview should have ended at 18 minutes. Their only reason this game stretched out to 30 minutes is because they've expressly
their
allowed it.
mercy.
Exactly. Like, King Me has not died an extra 3 times because Grandview got tired of killing him. And they'll let the Nexus do their dirty work. Grandview goes up 2-0 in this series.
Audio, there's not much to add. Everyone saw that game. They saw how it happened. And for viewers at home, I don't have a whole lot to really explain about what we just saw.
I wish I could wash out my eyes. That was terrible. I mean, let's try to talk about why it went so wrong, right? Because I think it started off okay for Illinois College. They not only got Prankura ahead, partly because, you know, Grandview overreached in the top lane, but they also got the play bottom lane. King Me and Cold Cottage actually started off with a winning bot lane, which is not something that we see a lot from Illinois College. Is it just doomed? Is Grandview just better?
That's what it's looking like. However, you know, they
boring.
haven't pulled the strat that we have been talking about, though. Audio, which is get King Me some money.
True. I want to see, okay, alternate universe time. Like, Prankuru on a... Are you sitting down? Sitting down? You ready for this?
Yep. Yep.
Weak side top laner. And give
Okay.
King Me the lane matchup. Like, try it. Hey, who knows? You're down 0-2. This playstyle obviously isn't working against Grandview. You've got Prankuru ahead 2 times in a row now, and yes, he's able to turn around some fights, but you're not winning anything. Hell, give King Me a shot. Also, I would like to see Savara taken off of a support and put onto an actual mid laner. The Seraphine is super busted. The Karma works great, but only when you've got a spearhead to play behind, and Prankuru hasn't been able to be that this series. And I think Grandview have proven that they're not going to let Prankuru be that.
Yeah, it's been a little bit confusing as far as how these team compositions have played out, but for Illinois, I think they've got one more shot at it. So, you know, hopefully we get to see if it's not a lot more spice in the draft, a lot more spice in the gameplay, because it's feeling a little bland.
You know what they say, Nightstar? You can't reverse sweep without starting 0-2. So Illinois College, they've got the redemption arc going for them.
The ultimate redemption arc.
They've got anime on their side. This is like 7th, 8th season in. This redemption arc has been building up for a long time. Somebody needs to take down big, bad Grandview University. Will Illinois College be able to make our dreams come true and at least take a game off them in the finals? Come on, man. I want to cast some more. We'll have to see on the other side of this short break. Make sure you're sticking around to join us. I don't want you touching that browser one bit. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, everybody. I usually come into these things with a bit of a recap of how the series has been going, but I'm thinking about it, and it's making me sad, Nightstar. I'm sad. I thought we were going to have at least one series this year where Grandview University could be pushed, could be tested, and I'm a self-proclaimed huge King Me fan. I've been a big Illinois College fan for a while. I wanted them to be the team that could take on Grandview, but it's been a slaughter, Nightstar. It's been wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot can be said. I grabbed the tissue here just for you. Dab away those tears.
But let's talk about game number 3, because I think Illinois College have shown some bright spots. Like, it's not all doom and gloom for them. Prankuru is still a beast, and he's still crushing Platypus up on this top side. But I know last game we called for a little bit more attention paid to King Me. We'll see if we end up getting it, as we are going to hop into draft for game number 3. Do or die here for Illinois College. They have to start turning it around here and now.
Yeah. Part of the banter in the pregame chat, for those of you who obviously aren't going to be able to see it, was Illinois College requesting that GVU allow Kled to go through, and immediately first ban we see Kled go straight into the ban hammer.
I just love, obviously behind the scenes, but in the chat box, I see we're begging. They said, please let Kled go through. I see Varsity is disbanding after this game, just to let it happen. And Grandview are ruthless. They say, no, we're tired. We want to get home before supper. Our coach won't let us eat unless we 3-0 a specific amount of time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure Grandview's coach would never do that. But we are going to see the bans coming through. The Akali made it onto the table. I think Riverside had made quite a case for that champion there in game number 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Akali was definitely a little bit disgusting. I would say the Philios more so, but there's just so many other 80 carries that you're looking to strip away, and it looks like we're going to have a farewell draft of sorts, as we see the Lee Sin is the first pick here, so fully committed into, I would say, a win lane, win game kind of draft.
God, I feel so bad for Twitch chat right now and anybody watching right now, because half the entertainment of this show is happening in the in-lobby chat room right now. They're playing Jeopardy, trying to guess what each team is going to pick. And I'm not entirely convinced that Lee Sin didn't come out just because Grandview predicted a B1 Hecarim. And, IC was like, no, we're not going to pick Hecarim. We'll pick Lee Sin instead. But no, I'm trolling. It's just a lot of fun stuff going on right now. Lee Sin, though, locked in. I think early on in the drafts, it's dangerous, right? And giving over the Graves and the Aphelios to really strong picks. Okay, they're actually trolling. This IC is actually 100% trolling in this game. They planned this out in the chat. Man, wow. Okay, so it's going to be a quick one.
Yeah, so Cassio Timo coming through.
I gotta expose you. You picked Timo. Come on.
People gotta know. There's a lot of flexibility where these two champions can go if we're trying to break down the picks. But honestly, we've got on one side we've got a draft in GVU, and on the other side, it's IC's last go around. That's what this draft is saying to me. They want to go out with a bang, and they want to be able to play the champions that they want to play. So in that regard, maybe we could see Timo bot lane. That seems the least likely, but after going for maximum spice, give me the Lee Sin support. Give me a heavy killing. Lee Sin Jarvan.
Well,
Lee Sin Jarvan. give it to me.
I mean, if I have to say one thing, thank you, Illinois College. My cheeks haven't hurt this much from smiling since COVID started. So at least they're having a little bit of fun with it. It's going to be an enjoyable game for sure, and I'm sure it's going to be a bloody one too. If you pick Teemo, so help me God, and it's a farm fest, I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream on broadcast if this is not just the bloodiest game with this draft. As we'll see what the bans are here. Pantheon, Renekton, so still at least taking the bans seriously here. As there's that Jarvan, we're not going to see it as a support to the Lee Sin, but
I think it's
will be in the
support.
game.
I think it's support Jarvan
Could
for
be
the
support.
Philios.
Could be top lane, potentially.
It
Because this
could
is a
be-
Teemo,
It could
so
be
if you wanted to
top
just
lane
like,
Graves.
could be top lane Graves. God, I don't know. What is it? Going to be a Phelios jungle? Grandview University and Illinois College obviously don't
They
care
went
about
for a
our sanity.
Lucian. Lucian's like the least spicy pick they could go for.
Pretty spicy. At least it's not like a Sivir.
Sivir would have been a really sad pick, but at least they locked themselves into Yone. So as far as supports being offered by the squad of I see, Lee Sin probably the best as far as offering as a support kit. Otherwise,
Now-
you're looking at Teemo with the blinds. Also, Moonstone Teemo isn't actually all that bad.
Now I want to see. So I know we have the Teemo here, but like bear with me because this draft is just so insanely crazy. I want to see if potentially Prankuru takes the Lucian top, and we see Savara take the Yone mid. Because if they did that, those are the champions that Illinois College lost to Grandview in game 2 in week 1. So like picking their champions against them, be a little bit of extra stroll, a little bit of extra spice in the draft. Could be a possibility. I'm honestly just trying to wrap my head around the fact that we're actually going to see Teemo in a competitive game. I've been preparing my whole life for this. Nightstar, I've been waiting for years to cast a Teemo game. And Illinois College are going to give you that gift. Thank you.
Give me Lee Sin top. That's what I want.
Okay, Lee Sin top. Who's jungling?
Teemo.
Who's mid lane?
Yone.
So we've got who's support? Cassiopeia or Lucian? Who's grabbing the farm?
Cassio.
Okay, so Lucian's grabbing the farm.
Or
Interesting.
AP Lucian. Or AP Lucian.
Ooh, okay,
Support.
I'm liking this even less. Didn't know that was possible. But congratulations, Nightstar. You found a way to make Illinois College's draft worse. This is a Yone top. What the Rafa, where
don't-
are you? I need your bleep button.
don't
the fuck?
worry. We can still have Teemo. Okay, just kidding.
Please. We're going to see Teemo ADC. It's either ADC or support.
I hope they
Honestly-
still lane. I still hope that they just swap the picks anyways afterwards. That would be fun.
Kuru's going to go bot lane. Savara's going to jungle Lucian AP. There's so many possibilities. They're endless. Chat, we have completely devolved into chaos now on the analyst desk. Nightstar and I are rambling. We don't know where to go from here because honestly, we've never seen this, and I'm not sure anybody that's played League of Legends has either. We're in uncharted territory here.
I mean, this is something you cook up in ARAM, man. This is old school ARAM where you had to go onto Summoner's Rift.
Oh God, are Illinois College playing Ultimate Bravery?
That could be possible too. I know.
Please, no, spare me.
I mean, there was a chat about IC disbanding. I think my brain cells have disbanded. I've lost them. I cannot find them. Audio. Would you happen to know where they've gone?
No, I think Illinois College stole them and ran as far as possible from the nearest brain because, like, I don't know what spawned this godforsaken team composition. We've got Yone top, Lee Sin jungle, Lucian. I mean, the top half of the map looks fine, right? Like, you can build a composition out of that. It's a bit AD heavy. It's a bit, snowbally. But then you get to the bottom lane. It's just Cassiopeia Tebow. And, like...
Well, here's
what?
the thing. Beyond the Teemo, you can almost visualize this composition as making sense.
It's still hard. Visualizing this composition without the Teemo is hard. It's a stretch. You throw the Teemo in there, it's okay. Know it's a joke.
The Teemo truly puts the cherry on the sundae there. And we've got a really interesting Sunday.
Teemo is the banana in the banana split. Like, nobody
No.
split for the banana.
It's the split in the banana split because you don't know where it actually is.
I'm just trying to think of, like, universally hated ingredients in food now.
Uh,
I don't even know. I don't even know it could be this bad. It's like, the Teemo is a well-done steak. That's it. That's the lowest insult I can throw at it.
No, it's a well-done steak into your sundae.
With barbecue sauce on it.
Oh, oh, that hit.
Okay, now I'm just waiting for Cold Cottage to, like, pop off. Grandview are going to see this Teemo. They're going to let their guard down. They're going to, like, throw this game to the Wolves. It's going to be 30 kills by 10 minutes, and somehow this Teemo's going to have 20 of them. I don't know how, but I'm sure it's going to happen in some way. We'll save it, Nightstar. We're going to save it for the game. Yeah. We're going to take it into a break. Nothing but chaos.
Let's digest
you on
this.
The other side of this break, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to be taking you along for the ride. So don't touch that browser. We'll be right back with what could be, what should be, what please must be the last game in this series. Grandview looking to take it home 3-0. We'll see you there. Welcome back, everybody. to this
Whoa,
game.
welcome back, everyone. Here, see, we're looking at this last game audio, and all I can see is there's not a whole lot of color to be done. So I think we're gonna have a little bit more
Take
fun.
your time to shine, Nightstar.
It's gonna be a play-by-play, double play-by-play feel. That's the vibes I'm getting, Trevor. I'm not
I
sure.
like it. Bringing you something new on the broadcast desk. I mean, hey, Illinois College, they want to do something they've never done before that no League of Legends team has ever done before. So why shouldn't we too? Double
Yeah.
play-by-play. It's the new meta. Get used to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait, Cold Cottage is top. Okay, I'm pulling right now a dark and repressed memory from inside my mind where it used to actually be a viable strat for Teemo to just sit mid and like harass the enemy laner like level 1 or level 2. That might be what Cold Cod is doing up here. This could be
Platypus
some
is
like
doing it too.
4D chess where they're just trying to funnel prank crews so hard, and this is their level 1 strat to do it.
No, this is what's gonna happen. He's just gonna sit top lane that entire time. Prank crew,
Leeching
Is-
XP.
yeah,
That's the strat.
he's
Just leech
going to,
XP.
Platypus is gonna watch this and be like, wait, he didn't hit level 2 off of that. What's going on? But in the meantime, Platypus is actually hanging bot side, so he's pulling off the same strategy.
And he's got the decimating smash. He lands it. And the Scion, it's proven it's just Teemo but better.
And he goes back
teleport
top
top.
lane,
Oh,
and
he's fine. He's fine. River-sided might not be fine. Okay, yeah, he'll flash away. Double summoners burnt there from Savara. And Scion, along with every champion in League of Legends, except maybe Yumi, is literally just Teemo but better. It's been proven here today.
that's Audio's color, right there. And that's all, folks. That's
You can
all,
wrap it
folks.
up. If you know, don't you dare turn off that stream. I'll be but if you were to, you wouldn't be missing much. The games are the game ended when they locked in Teemo.
You mean the game ended when you heard the draft?
Illinois College, I just hope that you have a wonderful game because you deserve it.
I mean, this is one way to send yourself off. So,
I mean, you
how's
think
been
about
your
it,
day
what's
besides
better?
that?
You like picking a standard comp, drafting for Prankuru, spending the whole game trying to get him ahead. As Savara goes down 1v1, Coldthrow will turn that into a trade.
1-4-1.
Oh, yeah, what's better? Playing super tryhard and Grandview beats you anyway? Or losing to Grandview with Teemo and Cassiopeia? That's a lot more fun in my book.
Or
Oh,
winning.
ping me? Let's be serious here. Come on. Nightstar, you're an analyst. Respect yourself.
No, we've already agreed that Illinois has run off with whatever remaining cells that I
That
have
doesn't
in
mean we
brain.
have to just throw all logic out the window. I'm not going to predict that this Teemo is going to win.
I just want give me the spicy builds to back it up. Like, give me Savara with the AP build. This is unacceptable. The fact that he has double longsword, can't have that.
Sleepy Bubble Trouble. Timmy Tam is here. That W would have done a lot more damage if he had AP.
Agreed. Also,
Just,
should have started Cull.
Oh, God. What a game 4 we have for you folks. Absolute craziness. I mean, Grandview's already out to 1,000 gold lead. And it's not strange. I will say that their level 1 ingenuity was, you know, very welcome. The fact that they took the Scion down to the bot lane, charging up that decimating smash in the brush. I think that's, you know, that's a play that you can make against any comp. Like, that's not a play that they get to make because a Teemo was locked in. I actually think that was just a really smart play in general. So Grandview at least still taking this somewhat seriously, even if Illinois College has just broken down.
Yeah, but you see, that's where the genius comes in from Cold Cottage, because he went topside and camped in that bush, he didn't give a double kill to that Scion play.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's true, I guess. He also didn't, you know, I don't know. Oh no, my brain hurts already. Nightstar, we're only 5 minutes in. Save me. Let's talk about where we're at though. The gold lead mostly concentrated onto Azog. It's about to be a little bit more onto River-sided as he picks up that kill onto Savara. And I mean, now it's, you know, it's pretty evenly split. 1 kill to the Grave, Zoe, and Aphelios. All 3 of your damage carries. This is exactly where Grandview wants to spread the gold. Lobo's flashing in for a little bit more. 1 more auto tech would have done it. And Grandview, as usual, have complete control of the map.
Complete control and also some flashiness to go with it as the sidestep comes through. And, I mean, Chucky... It looks like Chucky has committed. He's gone and secured himself the Amp Tome. So I assume this is going to be the Zanya's rush as we see a fight start in this bot side.
Lobos takes 1
Teleport.
turret shot, but look at those guns. White and red. That's all you really need. Hilo comes out, expecting
here.
Frankuru to ultimate here. They saw the teleport. They're waiting for that Yoname ultimate over the wall. Lobo's trying to get to this blast cone. Good sidestep. He has to take that blast cone towards Cold Cottage, or he gets hit by Prankuru. He lives anyway. Prankuru rather, will finally take him down. And it's this kind of scrapping that needs to happen if IC want anything to happen. Good miasma to stop that blast cone. Prankuru gonna go down to Cold Throw, who is now in a killing spree and is gonna flash forward for more. That's a double kill. Can they make it 3?
Yep. They
Clicky
can.
time.
And the
Nap.
dodge.
Oh, Timmy Tam. There were 3
Oh,
targets
dear.
there. You missed all 3 of them. And now you're going to get run down here by Riverside. And he's going to make sure Lee Sin falls. He tried to smite away the red buff. He actually, I mean, it gets him enough health to stay alive. Very scrappy play. It's Grandview that come out on top of that. Even though a couple kills went back over. Platypus is literally playing Inteen Scion in a C-Law Finals series.
You know what did
That's
happen?
where I draw the line, Nightstar.
A lot of summoners got burned in that last fight. You look up and down the board, there's nothing left from either team. You have a heal left on Cassio, but that's it. And on the flip side, you have both sums on the Scion, but that's because he was not involved in that play. Everyone else was, and they still won it.
It's one thing to beat your opponents. It's another thing entirely to break your opponents. And Illinois College playing Cassiopeia Teemo bot in game number 4. This feels like a broken team, Nightstar. I think Illinois College, I think Grandview broke IC.
This is where you put a bunch of numbers into the calculator, and it just spits out does not compute. And you're just like, well, I guess we find a new calculator?
I think Illinois College need to learn a new type of math. They're on algebra. Grandview University is playing calculus right now.
They're on astrophysics.
They don't even comprehend. I don't even comprehend what's going on.
Well,
I mean, I don't know what this Teemo is supposed to do. How does he win? Is he winning? I don't know.
that is the ultimate question.
Good clean
And
bubble
you know
trouble
what?
gonna land though. Whole throw. Beautiful layup there.
Coulter has gone for a Prowler's Claw here.
6-0-1.
He hasn't
At
even
10 minutes.
This is like where if you wanted lethality, you go for the Eclipse angle. Nah. He's
Flag
gone
and
for
drag
Prowler's
still
Claw.
gonna land through the miasma. That's another kill onto King Me. He's 0-3 here. And that's 4 plates, soon to be 5, going over the way of Lobos. We check the gold real quick. It's the Aphelios on 4,600 compared to Cassiopeia on 2200. Teemo actually has more gold than King Me right now, which feels terrible.
Support item, baby. And cold throw, baby. But you know what? At the very least, audio here, you look at what's happened in this bottom lane this game, and it's not different than what's happened, honestly, all series.
It's just accelerated, like, to a ridiculous point. Illinois College said, okay, we're going to skip the part where we have a good early game, and then you just roll over us, and we're just going to, like, get to that rolling over part now.
This is where you tell your
Guru,
dog,
don't get stunned up.
play dead.
It's outside of the turret range, thankfully, but he's going to get dragged right back.
I think he died to Bobby Cinder there.
100% did. The tower shot had not connected yet. But, yeah, he was on 1 HP, so pretty easy to die to bombies then. As this is the first game we've seen all series where Prank Guru hasn't been ahead. Platypus now eclipsing him in gold is up by 400, and that's kind of a death sentence for Illinois College, right? If Prank Guru isn't winning, then there's not what else they're doing. King Me cannot be even relevant in this game. Not with a a Teemo support, not in this matchup.
Not in this matchup. Not with this.
We get to see
Support.
another 15 minutes of Illinois College slowly, one by one, giving up every resource on the map. And it's already started. They're already losing all their topside jungle.
And that's also a whiff on the ultimate there. A little bit too telegraphed, and now
Prank Guru's just going to die.
Same with King Me.
He walks into the Aphelios, and the Aphelios
He's going to
just
die
stands
to Bobby
there.
Cinder.
And just in case anybody back home watching is wondering, we did check, and no, there are no rules against stalling the game in Seawall. So Grandview, they can take their sweet time with this one. They are in no hurry at all. Zavara throws the thumbs up. He's getting dove under his inhib tower at 12 minutes.
Prowler's Claw Graves. It really caps this one off.
Fun. Yeah, it does indeed. We find Decimating Smash on the Cold Cottage. Meanwhile, Prank Guru looking for the engage. He gets a shutdown. Just goes to show that new champions don't need gold. Yone is still able to 1v1 the ADC. As Platypus caught behind enemy lines. He should go down. Actually, I don't know.
He has his ult soon.
He's 3-1. He has his mythic. His Decimating Smash, half charge, just did like a third of Lee Sin's health bar. And yes, he will fall, but will his zombie get something? The Blast Cone is going to save King Me's life.
But it doesn't save Timmy Tam's life, as Timmy Tam will go down. Now Riverside off to the races. King Me trying to chase him down. And you know what? He's got nothing else to do, I suppose. As Kulthro, he's ready.
Dodge, duck, and weave. Can he get away from the Qs? No, he can't.
He gets the burn down, and now Prowler's Claw is kind of strong when you're this far ahead.
And like, who's gonna build armor ever? Like, you're maybe looking at a GA, third, fourth item. Kulthro already has Prowler's Claw plus another serrated Dirk. He's doing
He's gonna complete
true damage plus some.
He's got another item just waiting to finish up here. I don't know what this next one is.
Most likely going to be Collector. The serrated Dirk plus pickaxe. The longsword throws me off a loop. Throws me for a bit of a loop as it is Crit Cloak, the last item in that patch. Bye-bye, Teemo.
Squished.
Bye-bye. Don't come back.
Like a cockroach in that one.
Cold Cottage, I love you, but this game I'm going to love to watch you die. Just because you're playing Teemo.
For all the Teemo one tricks out there. Well, I actually... Okay. I was going to comment, but you know, Lobo's doing some things out there. Does die, and we also do see that Zanya is completed by Chookies.
Pranker, I think this ultimate might take him back. Okay, no, he teleported in and then used it. He just gonna die. The health bars are made out of paper mache at this point. I honestly think it would be tougher for Grandview University to kill the jungle monsters. They probably have more resistances up against Cold Throw. That auto attack did 80% of Teemo's HP.
Well, you did say you wanted to see a lot of kills this game, Audio.
From both teams, Nightstar.
And we're getting
If I
a lot of
wanted to
kills.
watch Grandview get a bunch of kills, I would have just tuned into one of their games during the regular season.
But you see, 8 kills at 16 minutes, that's 1 kill every 2 minutes still.
I mean, that is true. Timmy Tam, Lee syndrome a bit there. His mind is telling you, no, no, never. You can never take that Q. And his body is saying, oh, what the hell? We're against Grandview, I might as well. Teleport going to be channeled in. My question now is, how fast can Grandview take the game? Normally, you don't want to take the inhibitor this early, like pre-20 minutes. But, who cares?
I mean, as you said, might as well.
Might as well. Can they end this game pre-20 is my question. That would be the cherry on top, the icing on the cake.
Well, it's not about if they can, it's if they want to.
I mean, it can be a little bit of a difficult team, like, to dive the Nexus turrets. You know, you've got the Miasma, you've got the team who's doing a lot of poison, Yone's got some CC. With the pick, though, they're feeling a bit more confident. Charge forward from Platypus. And they're going to bring Savara down to just a quarter HP. He is the one member on Illinois College that you could maybe argue is having an okay time. Good ultimate there from Prankaroo, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't have the damage. Flash away from BMO. Still gets knocked up, but he still finds the shutdown. But he's only made Platypus stronger. This is my final form. And one Nexus turret is already fallen. Kingme's going to spawn to a big fat paddle star to the face and half his HP gone. There's the second one. And the auto attack will secure it. Riverside will trade his life, but hey, he got another kill, so it's worth it. And Illinois College will hold on to their base for at least a few more minutes.
Yeah, but you know who's the real winner? Teemo. He got that shutdown. He got
Teemo
a massive shutdown. Absolutely juggernaut of a shutdown. But yeah, I mean, hey, they're up to 11 kills, so that's more than 1 kill every 2 minutes now.
I mean, I guess you could take the small wins, but I still feel like 11 kills, a kill every 2 minutes. They're still down in gold on what like a standard team would be at. Because Timmy Tam is 46 CS. Timmy Tam
touchdown! Woo!
Timmy
Where'd he
Tam
go?
has a fiendish Condex in inventory. Timmy Tam is building a Zanya's first item on Lee Sin.
He's trying to make sure he can make the plays.
Grandview University, shame on you for not ending this game faster. 19 minutes is too long for a Teemo to be in the game.
This is where they leave. Call it a day.
This will fall. The minion should
At some
take it out
point.
no matter what. Pranker almost wins that 1v1. To show you how strong Yone is as a champ. Kingme flashes over. It's a double kill for Lobos. Same can be said for Savara. Shut down, but the minions will put us out of our mercy. Alongside Illinois College. Grandview University, to nobody's surprise, is going to clean sweep the finals 3-0.
At almost the pace of 3 kills a minute as well. We had 53 kills in 19 minutes. It was truly...
That was a best of 2, right? 2
was-
2 games?
it was
Grandview
an
won 2 games, and then we were over?
It was
No
an
third game ever happened?
experience, Audio.
It's an experience I don't know if I want to have again, Nightstar, but it is one that we shared with you here at the Midwest Esports Conference. We have been so thankful to everybody that is tuned in across the season, watching all of our regular games. The CLOL skirmish as well was a ton of fun to do alongside this. And I want to say that we have more skirmish games. I'm pretty sure we do.
Week.
Yeah, next week we will be bringing more games to you guys. So the MEC isn't over. We still get to watch Grandview University do things just like whatever the thing they did in Game 4 was. I don't want to talk about it. But I will say congratulations to them once again. Illinois College, congratulations on your second place. And man, it's just, I'm a bit deflated, Nightstar, after that last game. I wish it didn't have to end like that.
Yeah, and
Wrap us up.
I mean, the other thing is the fact that we didn't even necessarily get to see a nice judgment of where GVU's power level is going into CLOL, the overall CLOL picture here. So there's still plenty of unknowns, and while the series didn't answer those questions, hopefully for GVU, they don't lose any of that edge from playing in MEC, and they're able to really show us a really strong performance moving into CLOL playoffs.
Yeah, they look good here, so let's hope they can look good against some of the top of the table that CLOL has to offer. Nightstar, though, any final thoughts before we wrap up tonight's show? Ditto. Agreed. I couldn't have said it better myself. Oh, okay. See, yeah, you had it going there. You were doing good. And then you said Teemo. And now I'm sad again, Nightstar. You made me sad again. Illinois College, let's just erase that third game from our memory. I thought they played pretty good in the first two, the losses besides, but that's all that we have here tonight, folks. We tried our best to bring you some analysis of that series, but at the end of the day, Grandview's just better in the Midwest Esports Conference. That's been the story for a while. So thank you once again for sticking through us through this entire series. And a special thank you to those who have been tuning in all season long. Make sure to be back here next week as we have a couple of skirmish matches planned. And trust me, those are a ton of fun. When there isn't CLOL records riding on the lines, you see a lot more games like this, and it's okay. We get to actually have fun with those matches. I just don't like to see them in the grand finals. We're going to sign off for tonight, though, guys. We'll see you next week.
because it is what it is. Thank you for all the follows. I appreciate you. Thank y'all. Not y'all trying to pick me up.